brought you the world's first patented curved light bar. Now, it just got smaller, slimmer, and smarter with the rigid RDS SR Series Pro. This compact single-row light bar conforms to modern looks and projects more lighting to get you further. Boasting a compact design, gentle curve, and the same proven rigid quality, the RDS SR Series Pro is a new, sleek, and sophisticated way to own the night.
We're back. It is 1 o'clock. That means it's time for the next update here on Fishgistics. Brought to you guys today by KMC Wheels, 4-Wheel Parts, F&L Fuels, Monster Energy, and Rigid Industries. You can see we got the F&L car behind us here. They are having a pretty good run so far. They are hanging in there with the leaders in Class 1, and we'll go check on them in a second. But big thanks to F&L. This is the first race they've come on board with us, and they're going to be on board with us for a while. So big thanks to Brian Busby and Steve and everyone over there at F&L for coming on board with Fishgistics. All right, guys, so we have a couple updates, and let's see. The biggest update we have is that everybody's still moving pretty much. Let's go over and take a look at the board here. So we look at the board. The 88's still out front. And let's see. Yep, 88. Then the 97, BJ Baldwin, still in second place. Number 70, still in third. Then the number 6 has moved up, Ricky Johnson. That is the all-wheel drive Team C truck, Mason truck there, with Ricky Johnson driving it. He has moved up. He started 5th. He's now 4th, so he's moved up one spot. Chris Miller is going pretty good, too. That's another all-wheel drive Mason truck. That's the Cantina Racing truck. This is their first race for that truck, so it looks like it's working out pretty good for them so far. Then we have Mike Walser. That's another Mason truck. And we have Tavo, Alan Impudia, Justin Lofton, and Andy McMillan. So Andy McMillan, remember, he started pretty far back. Was he 19th or something like that? He looks like he's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's 8th or 9th on the road. So Andy McMillan, no surprise there. He is he's putting some time on these guys. He's passed about at least 8 cars, maybe 9 cars already, and he is moving up. So good run for Andy so far. Dale Dondell, another all-wheel drive truck, twin turbo truck. He's moving up. He's up there. We got Zach Langley, and then someone else hiding behind him there. Who is that? Ryan Arciero is hiding behind him there. So that's a look at the top leaders in the trophy truck class. Now, we did figure out this 1121 thing. Thanks to Robert Campbell, he figured it out for us. The 1121 is actually the 54 Herps truck. So Herps 54 is actually tracking as the 1121, and the 1121 is actually showing up as the Troy Herps truck on the tracker. So if you're looking for that, keep that in mind. The 54 is actually the 1121, and the 1121 and the 1121 is actually the 54. So they got those mixed up a little bit there. That makes sense. That's how they got up here. Yeah, so Andy started 13th, he said. So he's already passed a few cars, at least 4 or 5 cars, depending on when his tracker updates. It looks like he's either ahead of these guys or right behind them. It's real hard to tell. Everybody's still really stacked up. There's not much room to pass in the first 150 miles on this course. It's pretty much just a single track. So we'll keep an eye on that. Let's go look at the bikes and see where the leader is. These guys are already coming back around. These guys are going to be coming back in not too long after these other guys get out of town here, especially this Europan section. They're going to be almost passing each other here, just south of Ojos there. So the 1X, Justin Morgan, he's been out front all day. They are still leading, followed by the 66X and the 5X. Same order they've been running in every time we've been watching. Nothing has changed there, so that's all the same. The quads, it's the 21A and the 1A, and you can see they're right on top of each other. Like, they literally updated at the same time, and they're pretty much right on top of each other. The 1A is out front. You see he just jumped up here, and then the 21 will update right on him next time. So it's the 1A and then the 21A. All right, so let's see. We can look at some other classes that might be a little bit more spread out now. Let's close the trophy trucks. Let's look at Class 1. So scroll up here and load the Class 1s. There's 10 of them this race. So once again, the 1121, that's showing up. That's not correct. So the 162 is now looking like they are in the lead here. Brandon Gaughan, and then the 105, Mason Cullen. That's the F&L car. He is showing in second place right now. Then we have to zoom in, and there's a whole bunch stacked up on each other here. We got the 114, Al Torres, Shelby Reed, Brad Wilson, Cody Parkhouse, and Brian Wilson. those 5 cars right there are pretty much within like a half mile to a mile of each other. So that's a big, big group of Class 5 or Class 1 cars all together there. Those 5 cars. So that's pretty cool to see. That's some good racing. I wouldn't want to be in the back of that though, because that's 4 cars right in front of you. That's a lot of dust today. I don't know if there's much wind out there or not. Maybe some of you guys watching, is there much wind today? Maybe I know Christian, you're on here. Is it windy on the coast side at least? You guys don't want any wind today. You guys want it to be very still today. All right, what other class do you guys want to look at? Class 12? All right, we can look at Class 12. So let's close this one. And Class 12, what is that? The Score Lights, I think it's actually called here. So Class 12. Go back a ways. It looks like 1206 is your leader, Freddie Willert. And then 1202 is next, the 1229, 1234, 1274, and the 1201. That's a look at the top Class 12 cars. Trophy truck specs. You guys want to see those? Let's go look at those. Trophy truck spec. Let's load them. There's a lot of them. One of the bigger classes this race. Looks like trophy truck spec is Kelly MacArthur out front. Still the same one that was out front last time we checked. So that hasn't changed. Then we have Rafael Navarro in the 209 and Jason McNeil just updated the 234. So that's your top 3. Depending on when this updates, that's kind of the orders jumping around. But it should be Kelly MacArthur, then probably Jason McNeil, I'm going to say second, and then probably Rafael Navarro third. So Jason McNeil having a pretty good run. He's definitely moving up, battling for the lead right now. Those 3 spec trucks are all battling for first place. Pretty close together there. Then, let's see, Caspino, you're killing me, Dave. All right, 205. Then we have the 299, 240, 218, 298, and the 250, John Langley. So that's going to be your top 10 or so spec trucks there. What else do you guys want to see here? Some of the Class 10. Yeah, we can look at Class 10. They're going to show up with the Class 1s probably, but we will load them up here for you. There's 14 of them according to the tracker. Looks like 1002, Clay Lawrence is going to be your leader, followed by Chase Warren in second place right now. Well, they just updated again. So let's try this again. Clay Lawrence, then the 1016, the 1030, and the 1062 are all right together with Chase Warren there. So pretty tight up front there. Cody Reed looks like he's probably 5th or 6th, and then Kevin Price, and then we got a little bit of a gap back to there. So people say, explain how the restart works. Okay, yeah, we could talk about that. I was going to wait till we get closer to it, but we might as well talk about it now. So in case you guys didn't know, let me show you. We'll zoom out here. Something different. This is the first time that Score is doing this that I can remember. A lot of the rally races do stuff like this. So when you get over here, just before mile 222, you get on the highway right here. They're going to put a sticker on your car. It's going to say the time on the sticker that you got there. Then you go 14 miles down to the end of the highway right down here, where it would take you, the speed limit is 60 miles an hour, and you're going 14 miles. So if you went 60 miles an hour for 14 miles, it would take you 14 minutes. However, you cannot restart until 20 minutes after the time you came on the highway. Does that make sense? So if you come on here and you come down to the bottom, you have to wait 20 minutes from the time on your sticker before you can start. So pretty much everyone's going to pit in this section for sure. So in theory, if you go 60 miles an hour, you can do a 5-minute pit and still make it back to your starting order. So you get 5 minutes basically to do a long driver change. You can look over the truck. You can actually make some changes to it. You can change tires easy. If you need to put a wrench on it to do something real quick, you could do that. So kind of an interesting thing that Score's doing here. The question that I have is when you get down to the bottom, say there's 5 of you guys that come in and 3 of you pit and 2 don't. Well, when they get down to the bottom, they're going to be like first in order. So Score is going to have to be really checking the times and know when these other 3 guys come that pitted that they're actually going to start in front of them. So I can see it turning into a total cluster, but it might work. If it works, it's cool. I like the idea. It's so nobody speeds on the highway. Speeding on the highway makes no sense. It doesn't do you any good. And there's no passing on the highway because no matter what time you came off the course, it's 20 minutes. So it doesn't matter. You can do 100 miles an hour. You can't restart there. And you'll get penalties if you're going over 60. So there's no point in speeding. So they're calling this the Rob Mack rule. So as you know, Rob Mack and Ryan Arciero had the thing where they were next to each other on the highway and they wanted to be first into the dirt. Well, they just eliminated that. There's none of that anymore. So we will we'll see how it works. I don't know if you guys like it. Christian Serapis, you're on here. Do you guys like that idea or no? I've heard some of the racers that like it and some of them that don't. I think the guys that have fast pits don't like this because it kind of takes away their advantage a little bit. So if you have a really good pit crew and you can get your pit done in less than a minute, it doesn't really matter because you might as well take 5 minutes on it because you're going to have to wait at the bottom anyways. So we'll see how it works out. But that's over here once they get to mile 222. So we'll be talking about that a little more later once the cars get over there. All right, what are you guys saying? Josh Daniel, I'm late on here. How do you rewind? Once this is over, go back on and you can rewind it. Once this ends, give it like 2 minutes, and then you can go back and you can rewind and you can search any part of it. All right. So let's see. Yeah, you haven't missed much. Everybody's running steady. The order is still pretty much the same at the top. The 6 has moved up a spot or two, and Andy McMillan has moved up a few spots wherever he is hidden in here. There he is there. Other than that, everybody's pretty much still going. So any other questions you guys have, let me know. Rob Mack. Yeah, Rob Mack started a ways in the back. He's right here. He's still moving along. Still really bunched up. Hard to tell who's exactly in what spot. This race is going to come down to time at the end. So hopefully, score's usually pretty good at the finish here with their feed. So if we get a good feed at the end, we can do some timing and get some stopwatches on it. I'll try to do it off the score feed and get some gaps, and then we can take the starting order and we can figure out who's winning. But until then, this is all we can do for now is watch the tracker. All right, so let's see, time gap, 88 to BJ. Well, the 88 started 10 minutes in front of him at the start. It looks like BJ's made up some of that because he's at 146 and BJ's at 143 almost. So BJ's only 3 miles behind now. So BJ's making up some time. But the 88's just doing what they got to do and stay out front. So I know Christian said they're just cruising. They're going for a good finish here because this finish of this race is your starting spot for the 1,000. So that's really what matters today. You got to do a good job and get a good finish here. Because if you mess up here and you DNF, you're going to have a bad starting spot at the 1,000. And that would not be good. All right, how's Luke and Dan doing? I think they're both doing pretty well. They started so far back. You know, Luke's in the middle back here. It looks like he's still moving. And Dan was all the way in the back where I don't even know where the 23 is. Let's see if we see it on here. Might be in. Let me see if we can pull him up here. Let's see if Dan's still going. I haven't heard that he wasn't. Let's see, where is he? Dan probably just went right by him. I don't even see him on this list here. Where? There he is. All right, it pops up. He's right in front of the 28. So Dan is, he's pretty much still in the back. I don't know if he's, doesn't look like he's running too hard yet. Maybe he's got an issue or something, but it looks like he's still staying pretty much where he started. Maybe he's just taking it conservative for now and going to let the race come to him later. But they are both still moving. What's Josh saying? Interesting on the pitting. It gives a more equalizer. Yeah, that pitting thing we were just talking about. Like I said, if you have fast pits, it doesn't really matter anymore because everyone's going to have the same amount of time to do it. But messes up timing for teams that are taking splits. Yeah, you'd have to be at the start where they come on the highway to get your splits because otherwise none of that time in that zone is going to matter because you don't know if they pitted for 5 minutes or they pitted for 1 minute or they didn't pit. So definitely interesting. I believe the reset is only for trucks. I don't know if it's for the bikes too. Maybe somebody else knows on here, but for sure it's for all the trucks. So we'll keep an eye on that later. All right. Well, I think that's it for this update. We'll be back in 45 minutes at 2 o'clock for the next update. Big thanks to all of our sponsors for making this happen. KMC Wheels, 4-Wheel Parts, F&L Fuels, Monster Energy, Rigid Lights. All those guys, thanks to them. And come back in another 45 minutes with some more questions. See you guys then.
Stock sucks. Get lifted and leveled at 4-Wheel Parts, where September is suspension month. 4WP is your home for the biggest names in suspension, like Airlift, Bilstein, Rough Country, ARB, Procom, Rubicon Express, and more. Save up to $500 on suspension parts and installations, and let our truck, Jeep, and SUV suspension experts help you select the right suspension for your vehicle, and then we'll install it too. Level kits, lift kits, shocks, steering, and gearing. Take your vehicle to the next level. Do you already have a suspension system? Then bring your vehicle in for inspection, alignment, and service, and let 4WP do your rig right. And we'll keep your truck or Jeep off the side of the road and on the trail. Check us out at 4WP.com, where you can have orders sent straight to your door or pick up at any of our 92 stores nationwide. September is suspension month at 4-Wheel Parts.